Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liara, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today, we are playing Tangle Tower. Now, this is a murder mystery game, and if you saw me play Detective Grimoire, well, this is the sequel. So if you liked that series, you're definitely going to like this one. I am excited, so without further ado, let's hop in and check it out. Tangle Tower. Okay, so it's mid-afternoon. Is this going to be like Clue? Who done it? Lake's Edge. Hello?
You ready, Sally?
Grimoire, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Just checking.
Hey, Knife Flurry.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank.
Oh boy.
Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yes. I definitely read the case file that I didn't know existed until just now.
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Alright. So we have murder victim, Freya Fellow. I assume that means she's 19. Died whilst painting a portrait of Freya Fellow, 58. Location, Flora's tower. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Okay, Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint, it was discovered to be blood. Okay, so that sounds like, Flora is the prime suspect here. Alright, so that's Freya. Let's see. No weapon found at the scene. But she was painting a portrait of Flora. Okay. Well, can we use the magnifying glass? Let's see, we got a paintbrush there. Anything else we can look at? That's a weird picture. Okay, so like, did somebody paint the blood on there? I guess that's what it's saying, right? What do we know about Tangle Tower? A small painting on a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. It's surrounded by a circular lake. The water is an unusual mix of colors. The lake is enclosed by sheer pale cliffs. They're too steep and too smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. Okay, yeah, it is very colorful. I feel like I'm in a Dr. Seuss movie. Alright, and our map. We've got a whole bunch of nothing. This is an epic map. Very awesome. Alright, so let's look.
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
Did the birds pee in the bath?
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune.
Can we click on that?
Toot, 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 toot.
Please don't do that.
Alright, it's a rock.
It's moist, but it's not muddy. Wonder how often it rains here.
I cannot believe how exciting this murder investigation is already.
Alright, what is this?
What are they?
Look like wind chimes, sort of. Oh.
Silent wooden wind chimes.
Silent wind chimes are super useful there? Okay. We already talked to her, right?
Who do you think did it?
Sally, you know full well we haven't met a single suspect yet. We haven't even been to the crime scene.
We ought to go there?
Still, I reckon I've got it all worked out.
Oh boy. Well, let's head on.
I think. It's currently far away.
Alright.
We could walk closer to it.
Alright.
When you are.
Let's go ahead and do it. Here we go. Gardens. Is that an egg?
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that.
Is it?
It's an egg.
Okay, so I was right. It's just a stone
What
egg.
animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
All of the above?
Right, of course. A hawk bear lizard.
Everyone should
It's a
have a hawk
statue
bear
of some
lizard.
hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster.
Playing a harp.
Playing a harp.
Indeed. Nothing weird at
Hang on
all.
a second.
Let's look closer. Oh,
This isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
probably not, because we're gonna have to have a code. But that is
Let's come back later.
yeah, gonna be something we'll have to revisit in a bit.
It must do something.
You'd hope
Indeed.
so, wouldn't you?
All right. So we have the harp statue. It's an old weathered statue of an amphibious creature holding a large harp. Symbols are engraved on each of the harp's 4 column segments. All right. Why is the water like bubbling?
And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
Is there?
It's a cassette tape.
Why is
Or
there a
it
tape in there?
Used to be.
Okay. The cassette has been damaged by water. The ink on the label is blurred and illegible. I wonder if we'll be able to do something with that. Alright, that must have been the bubbling that we saw right there. There's like a dragon mouth here.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No.
Of course not! It's not working!
This is some garden.
It's full of
Do the
mushrooms.
plants all look a little strange to you?
A little bit. Alright, and then we got a gazebo.
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
I guess so.
It's a one-man bandstand.
Alright, let's go forward. I like how they have the little harp on the little picture so I can find it easier. You're missing the O.
Oh,
Exactly.
What?
oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah.
They can be-
Tangle Tour.
Mm-hmm. Tangled Tour, of course.
Or
Why is there an envelope
Is that an
in
envelope?
the bush?
It's been opened, but the letter's still in there. Let's read it.
Of course. Let's
isn't
read
that an invasion of someone's privacy?
it. Not if you leave it out in the bush.
No, definitely.
Alright. The envelope has been ripped open. There's a single piece of paper inside. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Is that referencing the statue with the 4 symbols? Maybe.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
We have bird cages here.
Little bird feeders.
Oh.
How do you know they're for birds?
I mean, I guess that's true. There seems to be
A path
missing
leading
a
towards
little
the stone square.
wicket. Okay, so we can do that. We got a bell here. Can
Should
we ring it?
Ring the doorbell?
Why would we not?
Exactly.
It's a little melody.
Oh boy.
Don't think it's locked.
Well, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm
Theoretically.
pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Alright, well let's go forth. We could investigate over here, but let's go ahead and check out our crime scene first. Grand Hall. We have F, that must
A big
be
letter F.
the one
Of course.
family, right?
Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
Okay, so that was what, Fellow, and this was, I forget the
This
other
one has a
family's
big
name.
P.
That's probably important.
How very perceptive of you.
Oh, the puns. Alright.
Stairs.
Okay, that wasn't when I clicked on, but that's fine. What is with this?
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are
Indeed.
weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it.
There's nothing living in any of the water.
Anymore.
Why is that, I wonder? We got all kinds of pictures on the wall.
Finally, we get to investigate a murder in a spooky mansion.
It's not that spooky, really.
Don't ruin this.
Don't ruin this for me. We got plants.
Sally, check those plants for clues.
She's like, go away.
Is soil a clue?
Alright, can we move? Where can we move to? Let's check out this one first. Because this was where it supposedly took place, right? Flora's Tower. Oh boy.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
Okay.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Freya Fellow.
Indeed.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Alright, Freya was unable to finish the painting as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
Maybe.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We
Yeah?
didn't find a murder weapon.
That's really weird. Alright, so, the portrait. Alright, let's see. Is holding. Okay, Freya Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood. Because Freya was gonna eat it. But it was removed from the scene. Maybe that's true. No, with. No. That can't be right, right? There's something very strange about how Freya was killed. Laura's. What else do we have? What all do we have? Is holding a knife tipped with, was used to knock out, is completely covered in, was used to kill, was hidden inside. Flora's portrait is completely, it's not completely covered in blood, right? Is holding a knife. Do we, Freya Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood, but it was removed from the scene. Freya stole it because it stabbed Freya. Yeah, I think, but it was removed from the scene. Let's see.
Freya Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood, but it was removed from the scene. Nope.
Nope, not quite. Okay, what else? Was the painting somehow... Maybe it was... Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood. Because Freya put it there? The portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there?
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. Almost. Maybe just change
So
one
it doesn't
thing.
like the... I think it doesn't like this last one, right? Because it stabbed Freya?
Flora's
That doesn't
portrait
make
is
sense,
holding
does
a
it?
knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What?
Yeah.
You think Freya was stabbed
By a painting?
Not
Okay.
by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Okay, that's why I had a hard time figuring
Freya
it
was
out.
standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here?
Mm,
Case closed.
The case is not closed.
it's
And even
very
if you
far
were right,
from close.
where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
Exactly. Something weird is going on. Oh boy. An unfinished painting. Alright, so now can we talk to her? Hi?
Freya Fellow?
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly.
Hey,
You're looking quite evil
sorry
there.
to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to
she
ask
has
you
no
a
words.
few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Very
then,
helpful.
What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
Indeed. Let's see. Yourself.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it.
Oh boy.
We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah,
Of course we
okay.
will. What about yesterday?
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
She
Was
just
this
looks up.
something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Is
Did
it her
you
birthday?
talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But
Nope.
at least we can say we tried.
Yep, we have done a statement. What can we do?
Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya?
Your hair blue.
She's acting pretty suspicious, if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
I don't know. All right. Well, that's all we can do with her for now, I think.
Anything we should know? Any hobbies? Besides staring out the window?
Nope, that pretty much
Were you close with
counts
Freya?
it.
How are you two related?
Nothing.
Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire.
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
She's listening and she doesn't like it. What about the harp statue? Can we get damaged tape? Nothing. Open letter, how about that?
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is
love
that
the
you're holding
evil
in the
side
painting,
eye there.
Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
She seems to think not. Let's see, is there anything else? Tingle Tower. Alright, I think we've asked about everything we possibly can right now. So let's look around.
Is that an egg?
Fabergé egg?
An egg with bird feet.
It's also covered in gemstones.
Oh boy.
What a completely ordinary object.
Of course.
I think it's a container for something.
Okay.
Those gems look like they come off.
Swap the position of the gems, rotate the egg to see the clue on back. Okay, so we have, this is not the right way. Hold on, we gotta figure out this one. Where is this shape? This shape is this one, right? So we're looking at it sideways, right? Let's see. No, wait, we may be looking at the other way. Let me try it. I'm trying to orient. Or can we? We don't have one. Okay, so we don't have one. This one is not the same orientation as the other one. Let's look for this shape right here. Just the rounded, we've got this one, right? And is there, okay, and then we have this one. Okay, maybe this is intentionally obtuse, right? They obviously aren't matching at all. So we'll just have to use our smarticles. So we have a purple on the short side and a blue on the long side. So a purple on the short side and a blue on the long side. Now this one. Yeah, I think we've done all of them. Let me look quickly and see if we may have missed something. Yellow to purple. Is that the right side? I think it is. Okay. What does this do?
I got it.
Oh, you have to hit. It doesn't automatically unlock it.
I'm impressed.
Interesting. So what's
Did
inside?
it unlock? What's in there?
I'm curious.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg's a clue, right?
Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's currently empty. The lining of the egg is a soft, velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 strange feet with pointed claws. Okay, so maybe that will be useful in a little bit. Let's look at this.
The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle.
Exactly.
No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
Yeah.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again.
Okay. It was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. Okay, what are we checking exactly, I wonder? Because everything we're seeing seems to match what we read before. Alright.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Looks like it.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest blob of black is the blob of black in the middle. The paintbrush is still covered with dried red paint. Okay. Alright. So, can we look at the painting?
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Freya Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
Okay. Wonder if this could be something else, like a feather, maybe? Freya was unable to finish the painting as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. Oh boy. What about this?
Freya's painting supplies.
Small glass pots of red, yellow, blue, black, and white paint. The glass pots are all cracked down one side. Okay, wonder why. Alright, how about the gramophone?
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
We found a tape.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
This seems to be like their trademark. The cassette, or it plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There's a noticeable crack running through it all the way from the horn down through the tape deck. And it also has like the flower. Is there? I wonder if there's anything else we can do with that. I don't know.
What about the cassette tape?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
Oh, to Freya? The cassette tape is cracked down the middle. There's a handwritten message on the label to Freya. Wonder if we could play that somehow.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Alright. So try it. Let's start with this one. See if we can hear anything. Some pretty music.
It's piano music.
The cassette tape, it's a recording of piano music. It plays for a short while before stopping. Yeah, I think it just goes all the way to the end and then it stops. Oh. Then it probably has to stop. Will this play? Let's see. That sounds like writing or a portal or a coming storm or something weird.
Weird.
Exactly.
It's someone humming a tune.
Oh. Alright, it's a recording of someone walking outdoors. A distorting humming melody can be heard. It's very distorting. But yeah, you can hear the birds and stuff. Okay, so why was that thrown in the... Wonder why it was thrown in the fountain. Maybe it's like some... There's an eyeball up here.
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
Right? There's a plant over there.
A little pot plant, balanced on the window ledge.
Oh boy.
It's the only plant in the entire room.
We got a trap door here.
That's the only door in and out of the room.
Okay, I see.
It's also on the floor.
Indeed.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there.
We got stuff on the walls.
It's so dark back there.
Somehow the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very far into the room.
Right? But it's clearly shining in through the
room is a
window.
big open window.
I don't know if you can call it an open window.
There's no window.
It's more like the sudden absence of wall.
Right? Alright, maybe we can ask her a few more things. We've learned a few different things. So let's ask about the empty
Flora,
egg.
This is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
See if we get anything else.
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
She seems to be saying, like, give me patience. Alright, so nothing new to add. I guess we will move on to another area. Let's go... Well, we got so many different areas we could go. Let's go investigate here. Might as well investigate this side, right? Hello.
Sir?
Maybe we'll
Can
get
you
someone who
hear
talks.
me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it.
Oh,
Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
At least he can
And,
talk.
This is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh yeah?
Why?
Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering
Indeed.
secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know,
So where would
that
these
sort of
rooms
thing.
be? Alright,
So,
what about you?
Felix, what exactly do you do?
Is it not obvious?
Um,
I'm an explorer. Explorer.
Oh,
slash
silly
treasure
me.
hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long.
Oh,
I
boy.
go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here
Indeed.
with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is,
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
All right. I mean, that's good.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason
Yeah.
we're here.
Exactly.
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help. But I wish
Really?
you all the best in your investigation.
You
Hear
can't
that,
be
Grimoire?
any help.
We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I
Okay.
was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite
Uh-huh.
close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
Anything
you
that
got?
leads to the murder? Okay.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right. Fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know
Okay.
what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course.
Oh boy.
Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
So if they were already
Including
there,
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Okay. What about Flora? Tell me about her.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes.
A very
Been
quiet
married over
woman.
20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life.
Oh
She's the
boy.
youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
So what does she
well,
like the
yes,
company of?
Other people, you know.
All right. What about yourself?
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
What about Freya?
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially especially recently.
How are you
They
related
keep
to Freya?
saying,
Somewhat
hinting at something that
distantly,
happened.
as it happens, my father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What
Okay,
about
yeah,
her
I definitely
inheritance?
think we
Freya's
should.
parents died when she was around 3 years old.
So she was
came
kind
to
of like a
live here
ward.
shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had
Oh,
no
boy.
formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
So she's literally a starving artist? Alright, let's ask about all the things, because we learned in Detective Grimoire that even if a thing doesn't look like you should ask about it, sometimes you get a vital clue. So we'll just ask everyone about everything and
Charming,
everybody.
isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
Oh
But now
boy.
it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tingle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
Alright.
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes,
Well,
it is rather.
She does seem like an extreme sort of person.
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Alright, the harp statue.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know the code?
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall.
Is it related to our first case? I wonder.
But that looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Okay, Poppy. So she was the one singing out in the forest? Well, I'll definitely have to ask her about it.
I'm as confused as you are.
Oh boy.
It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
Okay. Interesting.
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
I mean, I guess he's not wrong.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Yes, so we shall.
Awkward.
Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're
Everything
normally
is.
in excellent condition.
Yeah,
You seem
everything
pretty
is
sure
crapped
about that.
down one side. The
Flora's
gramophone?
quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do.
Alright.
But that looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Okay, so we have Poppy and who was
That
this
looks
again?
like it
That
might belong
was...
to Poppy.
They're both Poppies. Okay. So we'll definitely have to talk to her. Let's look around here.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk.
I mean, that's a
Also,
good
I mean,
observation.
no offense, but you can just tell.
Alright. A wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model has been hand painted, but the paint is not skillfully applied. Yellow, blue, black, and white paints were found nearby. There's no red there. Why is there no red there? There's clearly red here. Suspicious.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
Could be. What about this horn?
It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale? Or Mead, maybe?
Maybe?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Indeed.
Yeah.
What about this map?
A map with a dotted line and an X marked on it.
That's a very boring way to describe a treasure map.
What is this? Some kind of
Nice.
chart?
A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked?
Oh boy.
Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. Let's look closer.
What's the deal with that
Okay.
painting on the front?
Not sure.
Hmm.
We should check that treasure map too.
Okay. So we've got the dragon. I'm guessing this is going to be coordinates. So let's see. Alright, so we have a dragon, and then a little farther back is a cave or a mountain, and then a tree farther back. And let's see. Dragon, cave, tree, but there's no birds. This maybe. Let's look at else what we've got. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, oh, we could be looking at it from, okay, we could be looking at it from the other direction too. So we can't forget that. So where else do we have dragons? The dragon is up close wherever it is. We could be looking at it west also. So we got to keep that in mind. Or east. Do we have a dragon on the left anywhere? We have a dragon left here. Actually, this could be it. Dragon on the left, mountain on the right, but farther back, and then in the distance, a tree with birds, right? So it could be this one, which is H6 looking to the west, right? So let's try that.
That's done it.
There we go. All right.
Neat. What was in the box?
More
Nothing?
wooden models.
Oh, okay.
These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Okay, so we've got a model resembling a child with green hair. Is that this one? Model resembling a woman with gray hair. These look like, okay. Model resembling a red and white bird. Was Flora holding a bird? And that's why it was red. Because modern art, I'm wondering. Model resembling a broad-shouldered man. The wooden models have been hand-painting. The paint is not skillfully applied. A pot of red paint and a brush is laying nearby. The brush has some dried red paint on it. Interesting. We got a puffer fish.
Puffer fish?
Yes. It's also a lamp, for some reason.
Who knows?
It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
Yes, please.
If we get really stuck, sure.
A conch shell?
That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I don't think it'd be
I
little.
hope so.
Is this his bed?
A hammock. It's kind of worn out.
I would politely describe it as lived in.
Indeed. What about this little statue?
What is it?
He's an imp.
Oh.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
You've just given him nightmares forever.
Oh. It's a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
Oh boy. Can we see what these pictures are?
A pencil drawing of a mountain on a moonlit night.
Right.
Rude.
Anything we can look at here?
Shelf junk.
Okay. What about the mirror?
A little mirror.
Definitely cursed.
It's not cursed. Not everything is cursed.
All right. What about this little mask?
An old wooden mask.
Probably cursed.
What about the pot?
You get a good view of the lake from here.
Let's go ahead and talk to him again and ask him about the things we found. So, tell me about the painted
I've
model.
been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as
Oh,
you
boy.
can see.
Indeed.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed, yes. Freya kindly taught me the basics.
Of
Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on
course.
hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course, I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower.
Uh-huh.
Safety first and all that. You found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
His family, I
It's Flora,
assume.
of course, surrounded by all her favorite people.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next room. Let's see what we got. Freya's room. All right, maybe we can find a clue here.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
What's that?
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Oh, okay.
That's weird.
What did you find in the drawers?
Nothing. They're completely empty.
What about this?
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a
Interesting.
cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate.
We got pictures on the wall.
Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
Okay. Alright. A drawing of a man standing with a woman in a garden. He's holding a red rose. A drawing of a young woman. A drawing of a person wearing a cloak. Okay. This says Hawkshaw and Fifi. Are we able to make comments on the names? I think we'll recognize her. I think she's one of the people that will be here. Got a brush here.
Painting supplies.
There's a painting here.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Oh, that one.
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
Oh, that's the one I saw.
It's a photograph.
Huh. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck on it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges. I wonder what it's supposed to show. Okay. We got plants.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight?
I guess. What is this?
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
Oh boy.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
We have a little stuffed cat up here.
Freya's bear.
Oh, a bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
Indeed. There's a vent here.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
Probably
I
not.
don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either.
Indeed. There's a little spider necklace here.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
All right. What about this one?
It's a fish, I think?
Looks
I think
like.
it looks more like a whale.
Yep. Well.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark.
Anything about these?
Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
All right. So she definitely cleans her brushes. Okay. What about the floor? What's on the floor?
Even though we're halfway up a tower, someone's been tracking in mud from outside.
Interesting. What is this?
It's
Oh,
a little
box.
wooden box for paintbrushes.
Okay.
To the casual observer, maybe.
All right. Let's look closer.
They're not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Oh boy. Swap the brushes to the correct order. Arrange the paper to find a clue. Sure. All right. Can we rotate this at all? doesn't appear we can. So where would we put this stuff? And then this one goes here. So we have shortest to tallest. I'm not sure what all the question marks mean. Let's see. But I feel like that's right. So we have, okay, so let's look at the brush shape. So we have this one right here next to something pink. I don't know. It's like right. Can you lift it up any? We can't lift it up. Okay, so we've got this brush. Okay, so we have some kind of brush, a green brush, some kind of brush, presumably this one, maybe. And then, okay, so this is brush shape, I assume. This is stick color. Okay, so we have an orange stick first, then green, then this type of brush with a pink stick, then a blue. We only have one blue, so blue has to go here. Then we have another brush. It has to be that one because that's the only one left. This one has to be an orange stick, so I guess that means it has to be this one because that's the only one left. So now we're left with these two. If this one is thin, if this means a thin tip, then I guess this means a thick tip, right? Maybe? Let's try this.
Nothing.
Did you find
nothing.
a hint on those scraps of paper? It looks like a ripped-up jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. Alright, so maybe we've made a mistake. Let's think about the logic again. I'm pretty sure the puzzle is correct at least. So this has got to be height then, which is kind of what I was thinking. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's definitely 6. So this one, it could be this one. This one could be here. The short one, we need a short one with an orange stick here, right? Okay, and then we could do this bristle shape here. The blue one would then be free to go here. The green one would have to go there then, and a tall one would have to go here. Let's try that.
What do I win?
All right.
Not bad.
All right.
What was in the box?
Nothing?
Just a photograph.
Okay.
Well, most of a photograph.
Oh boy. A photograph of 2 young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair? Is that really green? I don't know. The photo has a large piece missing. It seems to have been ripped off. She looks mean, so I'm very curious about that. Alright, I think it's time to move on for now. Let's check out the last room on this side. Alright, well, we recognize you.
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Oh boy.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis
Uh-huh.
about the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Freya Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator.
Oh boy. So tell me about
You
yourself.
will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all,
So deep.
you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed
boy.
my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that
Wow.
thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing.
All right. What happened
can you tell
yesterday?
me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes. However, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi?
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the
Okay.
library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
Wonder if
So what did
Poppy
you do
is the
instead?
green hair
I
girl.
locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
Right.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the
Okay.
room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly
Oh, maybe that
devastated.
was the green hair
Then
girl
I
that
took
was
a
in the
sample of
photo.
the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
All right, so tell me about different
Name,
people.
Freya Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been... non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what
Okay.
happened to make her stop talking entirely?
Is it
She
the thing with her
suffered weight
family?
loss, something she has been unable to move beyond. Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence.
Sounds about right.
Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No.
Ouch.
Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
He is quite correct.
All right.
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, amateur microbiologist. Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes: kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tingle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
Alright, tell me about Freya.
Name: Freya Fellow. Age: 19. Profession: artist. Deceased.
Aw.
Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me.
But
There it is.
Freya
Who
didn't?
had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this.
See, I
She was
actually
very
like
important,
Fifi. She's
and I
pretty
will not
cool.
rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In
There
the
was
past
the
year,
photo.
Freya became 1. Increasingly independent, and 2. Increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of
I
you
wonder
are
if
friends.
Poppy was
We
pulled
are
off the
of a
photo.
similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Poppy's
Sounds
the
like quite a
musician.
team.
Okay, so I bet that the photo, I don't know. Let's go through
What is
them.
your opinion of Tingle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must
Indeed.
be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family.
Oh
This
boy,
makes me the sole beneficiary of Tingle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
indeed.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you
She
don't want
seems
the house,
burdened
just
by
tell
it.
them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Uh-oh.
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There
Yeah,
was no
that's
knife
true.
found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife.
That's true.
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp.
Me too.
Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
Not yet.
We're working on it.
We are.
Indeed.
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What
Okay.
happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right.
But why?
Why?
I do not know why.
I like the the glaring at him.
Curious. Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway,
You know
I'm
what?
far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course.
You know, I wonder, what if it was such an accident that she's painted too young? Because it said that Freya, or that Flora had some kind of tragedy in her past, and then there's that bird in the wood drawing. What if the bird was like her beloved pet and died somehow, and Freya was painting it in her younger years or something?
That belongs to my mother. I think
I
she
mean, it
must be
goes
fond
along
of
with the
eggs.
egg thing.
There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the grand hall.
It's all going back to a
What's
bird.
the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs.
I don't know.
The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
Hmm.
I do not know the answer.
All right.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
Okay.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah,
Huh.
but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No,
Hmm.
in fact, it may be considered rather reassuring.
I'm getting some weird ideas. What if she was trying to cast some kind of spell that involved using blood? I don't
The
know.
gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
Okay.
Is she
Uh.
laughing?
Okay.
A wooden carving of my father, made by my father.
My father. I
Although,
knew
now
that was
that
coming.
I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint.
That's what I was asking.
It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya? There is a drawing of me, a drawing of
Indeed.
Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
Uh-huh.
I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever.
Oh boy. And then the last photo.
This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was only a third.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Oh boy.
Can't wait.
Let's go later.
There's
Okay.
something about Felix's painting supplies.
Right?
Something suspicious.
Right?
Let's ask him about it.
We'll ask later. So we've definitely got some things that we need to return to. Let's finish examining this room.
It's an illustrated book about birds.
It's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Indeed.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Okay, the ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seeds of Tantum amica, pictured. So, yeah, this is... Look, it's a feather. That's what I was saying, is the feather looks... Okay, I am, like, calling this for real. It's definitely related to a bird. Alright, we got vials.
It's musty in here.
What exactly does that mean? What is must?
Must. You ask such stupid questions.
Nice.
Alright, what's on the board?
A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Well, let's check it out. Interesting. So we have these letters and a code underneath, 191, 193, and they're not going necessarily any kind of order. They're connected by lines. What goes here? Interesting.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
There's another bird here.
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
Interesting.
Oh, so you're a the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
Alright, this is about trees.
Books about nature?
Alright. What is this?
Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
Of course!
The search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
Indeed. There's a little plant in here.
What's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Maybe. What's this one?
Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
Let's look at it. Uh-huh. It looks
Hey,
like
look at
Tangle
that.
Tower.
It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains.
Interesting.
What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Are we inside of a snow globe? Well, what else do we got? We got an achievement for that. We found the snow globe. What's on this shelf, I wonder?
Books about space.
They're
Indeed.
relatively untouched.
Okay, bugs.
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
Huh.
I wonder if Freya took them.
Books about geography.
Skip. Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history.
Indeed.
I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Oh boy.
Good excuse.
Thanks.
Okay. What about this book?
A book on the floor.
Exactly?
Fundamental entomology.
That's a bug insect.
I guess
Bug
somebody
book.
dropped it.
Interesting. All right. Well, I want to, let's see. So we now have so many rooms unlocked now. We can go to those 4 rooms. We can return here, and we can go visit Poppy's room. But I think we will do that in the next episode. So man, I have so many theories brewing in my mind right now. I really think that knife she's holding was the feather, and I think it's the feather of that bird. I think just based on what we've heard so far, I think she was sad because something happened to her bird. What? I don't know. But she had a pet bird, that's what I think. It was that bird that we found in the library. And that somehow Freya was going to, I don't know, paint her back in the good old days, or maybe she was going to do some kind of magic spell. I don't know, but we will find out more about this in the next episode. So if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Liara27. I have my schedule posted in the about and in the description. And if you want to see which games we're playing each day, I post them on x.com/Liara27. And I hope you join me in the next one. Until then, guys, bye.